Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are live. My name is Tom Beal, and we have David Lemon here in the house. David's going to be here answering your questions in the chat as we progress. I'm going to be here sharing some interesting, actually, the first thing that says on the screen here, interesting reflection of 13 years ago, a big launch Phil Stamen and I did, and how that relates to you right here in the present moment, where we're going to connect GrooveSell with GroovePages so you can sell your product or service online and get paid today. So David, thanks for being with me today. And you all from around the world, thanks for being here. We're going to get into some good stuff here in a minute. But first, let me cover some of the crossing of the T's and dotting of the I's. I will be reading off your name in a second. And if I read off Facebook user, that means you haven't gone and done this yet, which when you do this, I'll now be able to see your name inside of this StreamYard tool that I'm using and we use as a team to make these live streams. So if you haven't done so yet, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, StreamYard.com/Facebook. And if you hear me mention Facebook user and it's you, and you haven't done that yet, you know why. I can't see your name if you haven't done this yet. So we'll jump right over to here. So now's the time to let me know in the chat where you're joining in from today. So I see a couple of you have already jumped in and started to do that. So go ahead and type in where you're joining from around the world. We normally have multiple countries on board, and I'm excited to see who's here with us to enjoy today's training. Whoa, Dean, I see you. It doesn't say Facebook user, so congrats. It's working. We are rocking and rolling. All right, so let's see who we got here. We got Mark from, oh, sorry, whoops, I misread that. Ryan, present and ready to go. Hank, Topeka, Kansas. Mompreneur by Design, hello. Dean, hello. Ryan, completed. All right. Dean from Orlando, good to see you here. Ken from California. Mompreneur from Calgary, Canada. Dwight from England. JR in Cali. Dean, wow, I screwed up. It worked. Ryan from Vancouver. Dana from Pensacola, Florida. Michael from California. We've got Miri from Mariana, Malaysia. Pierre from Montreal, Quebec. Facebook user from Nigeria. So go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, StreamYard.com/Facebook, whoever's from Nigeria. Antura, ready to go. Regini, Southern California. Facebook user, Oregon Coast. Rick Thomas, Spokane. Joel from North Carolina. Facebook user from Calgary. All right, so we are international, and we are going to have an amazing time. Eric from Bowling Green, Kentucky, welcome. So today is an interesting date. I haven't had a chance to text Mike yet, but I'll have to text him a congratulatory text. This date, 13 years ago, 07/07/07, is when Mike and I launched our home study course, the 7-Figure Code. Now, the 7-Figure Code ended up being a greater than $1 million launch that we did in one week. It was live from 07/07/07 to 07/14. And in 1 week, it did over $1 million in revenue of a $500 course. So the course sold for $497. And it was a set of DVDs as well as transcripts. We had the transcripts printed, and it was 2 3-ring binders that we mailed around the world. And I will tell you this, it's very expensive. This is a lesson learned. It's very expensive to mail 2 full 3-ring binders of about 500 pages each. 1,000 pages was a very costly shipping expense in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to ship those courses around the world. So I'll be sharing more about that as we discuss it. But that was a fun launch. So at this particular point, so it launched around noon on 07/07/07. And by now we had a couple $100,000 in sales at least by now. It was a very good day, a very good week. And I will share more about that as we progress. because today is all about using Groove funnels, using Groove pages, using GrooveSell to connect those two so that you can sell your product or service online. And we're gonna shoot over there and show, actually, really, we'll pull up the page that Mike and I use to sell seven-figure code and discuss that a little bit in detail as to how you can emulate it and update it, because that was 13 years ago. A lot has changed since then. Jody says it costs a lot to send 1 ounce around the world these days. Yes, it was quite an expensive lesson to learn, that it might not have been the greatest idea to ship 1,000 pages and 2 3-ring binders all over the globe, because it's not what you make, it's what you keep. So that literally was a couple $100,000 in shipping fees that takes directly away from the gross profit, right, out of Mike and my pocket, right? A couple $100,000 went to the postal service instead of in our pockets. So it was very, very interesting lesson to learn, to say the least. So we have, and we will circle back, a challenge from last week. So if you were here last week and you took part in that challenge and have a website you would like us to take a look at, go ahead and post your URL of your GroovePages site that you created since last week. It can be either a opt-in page or it can be a sales page. And I'm not going to jump to it right away, but David's going to be posting those URLs, and I will see them at the end to go take a look at and give you some ideas on how to take it from where it is to the next level once we circle back to that. So if you did participate in the challenge from last week and created a page, go ahead and post that in the chat. David will be sending that to me in the private message when we circle back to that. Now, let me switch over to share my screen. I'm going to get out of the screen here, remove that. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to share this. I'm going to share the entire screen. Perfect. Share the entire screen. Now, what I'm going to do first is show you what the page actually was. So this was the web page that went live 13 years ago today. And what I'm using is the Wayback Machine, so archive.org. And you can go search up URLs of pages that are no longer live, but were live years ago. So I went to archive.org, typed in the sevenfigurecode.com, went back to July 7th of 2007. And then I actually went a couple days beyond that. So it was like July 9th. This is the page from like July 9th. So as the site was live, this was the site that produced over $1 million in sales. Let me first frame this with the backstory. So the seven-figure code, as I scroll down, first you see a pre-headline, the headline, which was interesting, right? Because it's, if you can descramble the code in this headline, then you have what it takes to make $1 million per year online. And you see the letters are all jumbled up. So that was kind of a nice little play to get attention right away. So the purpose of the headline is to get people's attention and make them want to read further. And then there's a subheadline after that with some immediate attention-grabbing, eye-popping statement there, and then the graphic of what is going to be delivered, right? So as I read that little graphic in the Johnson box there, it says, why 144 people attended a $5,000 workshop to learn how to build a seven-figure business from the VIPs of $1 Million Marketing and learn coveted secrets that could effortlessly catapult you into a sparkling seven-figure empire. This sold-out event has been converted into a powerful and unique home study course that is like no other and jam-packed with priceless secrets revealed for making $1 million business, and it's just officially launched. So what they show is one of the 2 3-ring binders there. There were 2 3-ring binders that were mailed, each with approximately 500 sheets of paper in it, and I believe 14 DVDs, something like that. We'll see as we scroll through. But remember, this is in February of 2007. I'm sorry, the event was February 2007. The DVDs, this home study course, was sold in July of 07. So 07, 07, 07. So this was the home study course of the live event that we did in February 2007. And at the live event in February, it was just prior to that, Google bought YouTube. So this is going back 13 years. This is in the crux of transitioning from text being the big thing to transitioning very quickly into video. So as we scroll through this, you'll be able to see that this is from 13 years ago, but there's still a lot of powerful insights that you can glean and gain from taking a look at this. And I will just say this sales page was written by Mike Filsaime. And Mike, although he's not a copywriter by trade, is a very good copywriter. And so what you're going to see if you go there, and I would highly recommend that if you're looking to sell your products or services, one of the tools of the copywriter's toolbox is to go read highly successful sales copy. And so if you can find something that sold over $1 million and you go read it, you're going to pick up on how the wording was that translated the value that was in this product of the 7-figure code to the reader so that they could say, yes, I want this. And here's my credit card, and here's the a payment of $497. So as you scroll through this, you'll see a very fine-tuned flow of how Mike writes his copy. And this is from 13 years ago, but you're going to see a long form sales letter, right? This was right at the beginning of video taking over. So here's some of the copy that you're witnessing right here that produced $1 million. As you scroll and scroll and scroll, you're going to see a method to the madness that converts into people pulling out their credit card, saying, yes, I want it, and making the sale. And as I'm scrolling through here, this is just bringing back lots of amazing memories from the live event and from this day 13 years ago when this went live. So you'll see lots of techniques here, from the headlines, the subheadlines, the bolding, the underlines, the italics, the Johnson boxes, the boxes that jump out and make it pop, so that people, as they scroll, are going to be able to pick up a little bit, because not everybody reads everything. And this is from 13 years ago. You'll notice a lot of the people who are here live are big names. And here's young Alex Jeffries, 13 years ago, who's gone on to create a very successful business of his own since then. So there's what Alex had to say. Quick testimony from Mike Filsaime, Tom Beal, and the rest of the staff. Now I knew before I attended the 2007-figure business in New York that it was going to double my business, but did more than that. Okay, let me explain. I launched my first information product 5 months ago, and to date, we're doing $70,000 in sales. On and on and on. So you'll see video intertwined into this, along with attention-grabbing boxes that pull out the highlights. And as you keep scrolling, you'll see this answers one of the questions that I'll jump back to. And people ask me and Mike and pretty much everybody, Tom, how long should my sales letter be? How long should my video be? And for those who have participated in several trainings, the answer isn't what most people are looking for, but here's the real answer. It needs to be as long as it needs to be for the message to be received by the consumer of that message to make the purchase. So you need to know, okay, in order to make this case, in order for them to see, here's the value far outweighs the investment. What's that going to take? And is that a combination of text, video? What is that play? Is it a webinar? Is it a VSL? And it's up to you to discern how and what is the best tool for me to get this information shared in a manner that they see the value far outweighs the investment. So as you keep scrolling, you'll see video intertwined with bullet points, headlines, and it's covering the quick scroll. For people that are scrolling, they'll be able to pick up good information. And when they get down to the bottom, you'll see this is quite lengthy, correct? This is a long time ago when this was the norm, but actually this was using Google Video before Google Video transferred over to YouTube video, right? and video took off shortly after Google Video bought YouTube. And as you scroll, it's just stacking the value, the value, the value. Now, I'm going to share this. There were orders within seconds of the page going live, within seconds of the emails being sent because of the pre-launch, right? And that's a whole nother topic that we'll be discussing as well, as what it takes to launch a product or service so that it builds up that queue of people waiting for the doors to open, because this was built up for weeks in advance, where people were knowing that on July 7th, 2007, this was going live. So they were waiting there for refreshing their browser at noon. When it went live, there were sales automatically. So when you build the proper pre-launch, people aren't even going to bother reading it. They scroll as quickly as they can to the bottom, press the buy button, and order. And you'll see a couple techniques that Mike and I used. So then we recapped, right? So all that, the page after page after page was building up, why this is so beneficial, why this is so valuable. And then we broke it down DVD by DVD, right? And so DVD volume 1, right? So there's the bullet points, the highlights of DVD 1, highlights of DVD 2, highlights of DVD 3, so on and so forth. And, as you're looking at this, you're probably, here's one, the fast method. You'll probably notice this wasn't fast. This wasn't something that Mike and I whipped up in a couple hours. This took weeks and weeks of planning and writing and sitting down and actually doing the work to put this together, preparing ourselves for the release with JV partners and the big launch that was going to happen. So as I'm about halfway through DVD 7, I'm going to stop and jump back to StreamYard. If you're following along with this, give me a 5 in the chat. Just let me know if you're following along. If you're picking up what I'm talking about here, give me a 5 in the chat. This is previewed using the Wayback Machine. Link to it, yes. 7-figure code. Yep. All right. So Joel's 5. All right. Cool. Veronica, you're following along. Good. All right. Here we go. Veronica, Merson, John, Grace, Facebook user, Jody, Dwight. Okay, good. You're following along, right? So this is important stuff. So reviewing this, picking what you're laying down. John, appreciate it. Yes, you're getting it. Very nice. Pierre, Ryan, Charles, John, Troy, Christine, Rick. All right, good. Yoshi just got here. What is 5? 5, if you're following along with what I'm talking about. So for those who just got here, I'm reviewing 13 years ago, Mike Filsame and I released this multi-million-dollar home study course called the 7-figure code. And I'm reviewing the sales page to show you a couple things. One is different from 13 years ago than what's happening today in most niches. I will say there are some niches that still use the very long sales form that we're looking at here, the sales page with lots and lots of copy, throws in some video, throws in some audio. So I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that this is dead, but there have been large improvements. I mean, bandwidth back then was a lot. I mean, yes, we used Google Video, as you can see here, which helped mitigate the bandwidth. But had we hosted all those videos on our own server, the bandwidth would have been extreme. And just to give you an idea, when we had all the JV affiliates, our partners mail for this, it actually crashed the server. We didn't have the cloud, and we didn't have the redundancy and the ability to scale at the level that we do now. So it was not a simple task to pull this off. But I will say a lot of the high-powered financial sales pages and things like that can be very long text, and people read you'll be surprised how many people read the whole thing to see if this is truly a fit for them. And it uncovers the psychological process of getting them to get to know, like, and trust you and see the value. So this went through and just went DVD by DVD, breaking it down. Here's what's in each of the DVDs. Here's why you'd want it. So the benefit to the benefit, here's the feature, here's the benefit, and here's the benefit to the benefit. explaining how this is going to be the thing that changes everything for the people who got their hands on this. So here we are now to DVD 9, DVD 10, DVD 11. There we go. The Proven Online Success Magnet System. That was cool. That was a good one. DVD 12, DVD 13, DVD 14, Rich Sheffrin. If you haven't studied Rich, you need to study Rich. He is fantastic as well. And then some hot seat panels, expert panel, and then more testimonials, stacking it up, getting ready. I think we're coming close to the end here. And then it was set for $497. There it is. So it talks about set the price to $797, but we're given for 7 days only, you save $300. So there's urgency in getting people to take action soon, right? So you're going to save $300 because in the first week, it's only $497. After that week, it goes up to $797. And then it stacks more. And then it came with fast action bonuses, right? So first mover bonuses. This is something that still is powerful today, because if people can come back later, well, I'll get back to it later. Later never comes, right? So you want to always think about what are some ways that I can have fear of missing out added to this, where I can have scarcity, where I can have reasons for people to move now versus later, reasons for people to take action now. So this is where some fast action bonus strategies come in. So this is where we threw in some launch only fast action bonuses. So here we are. So we gave some VIP passes to an upcoming event that was happening. And then here was the order form. We had some check boxes for commitment and consistency, right? Getting people to check things. Yes, yes, yes. All right. And then they had the option, and this is what we're leading to today. The training of today is helping you craft your sales page, and that can be just a video, that can be a video with text, all the different templates that are there inside GroovePages. We're going to go take a look at that, and then combining it with GrooveSell, which is now going to allow you to accept payment. And because here's the bottom line, with the greatest sales page, if you don't know how to integrate it and you don't know how to work the mechanisms to collect the payment, it's not going to be a working system. So we're going to show you how to connect GrooveSell with GroovePages so that you can collect the payment. And, this is an example that you can go learn from, even though it was 13 years ago. The premise and the principles are pretty much timeless. So it had a risk reversal. It had a guarantee, peace of mind, like you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. And so this was what we put together that was based on the live event, right? So if I scroll all the way to the top, close your eyes, I'm gonna scroll all the way to the top. Long, long page here. Lots of time, effort, energy went into this. So this is the 14 DVD set of the 3-day live event that happened in February, that a few months later. So people invested $5,000 to attend the live event. Then we came out roughly, so February, so just shy of 5 months, so 4.5 months later with the home study course. And so there was a lot of buzz. This event was top notch. I mean, some of the best names in the internet marketing world at the time were there, and some of the people who were there that weren't that well known have become very well known. So the buzz was there. The fear of missing out was there. And then we created the home study course, and we didn't price it in the multiple thousands of dollars, right? And that was another question. And that's something that each of us have to ascertain and discern. What's the price point going to be? And we didn't do any split tests. Pretty much we came up with the idea and premise, and it was just a hypothesis. Then the question is, could we have sold roughly the same amount at $997? Right? And that's always the question, right? How far do you push it? Are you going to go for more? Is it your hypothesis that you're going to go for a lower price and sell more, or a higher price and sell less, but possibly earn more? And that's up to you to discern with each of your courses, with each of your products, with each of your services that you put together. So when we jump over and we get into GrooveSell and we get into GroovePages, that's one of the questions that you have to discern for yourself for your particular product or service that you're going to come out with. With GrooveSell and GroovePages, remember, this is more of a information type of product. This is more of not a physical product in the sense of t-shirts, in the sense of gear, in this like shoes and clothes and things along those lines. This here, the 7-figure code, still could qualify as information because it's, in essence, especially in today's day and age, it wouldn't be delivered via DVD. It would be delivered via streaming membership area, right? So online fulfillment type of situation. So it's information. If you're looking to sell t-shirts or gear or shoes or clothes or things along those lines, GrooveSell and GroovePages wouldn't be the main recommended source. That would be GrooveCard, right? And so that's in the Groove family, but GrooveCard is more of the e-com type of stuff. But with information products, GrooveSell integrates with GroovePages, and we'll show you how that works. And when you're sitting there discerning what price point am I going to go, you can do your market research. And then you have to determine, do I want to be similar to the competition, or do I want to be the blue ocean, right? And that's the blue ocean strategy, is not like more of the same. How am I going to be different? And one of the ways to be different is put your stake down to be exponentially more than the competition. In some cases, right? It's up to you to decide. Here's what everybody else is doing. If you jump in and do it the way everyone else is doing, you're kind of more of the same. How can you do things differently so that you can separate yourself right away because you're not doing it the way that everybody else is? We'll talk about some more of those strategies once we jump into it. So go to web.archive.org, and you could go research this, the 7figurecode.com, as you see it right here. And I'll just back out of it just to show you what I did. The Wayback Machine. So all I did was type in the 7figurecode.com, and it shows all the years. And I went to 2007. And then being that we released it on July 07, I picked the 10th. And that's what brought up the page that we were just looking at and studying. So that's how I did it. Click on the date and time, and then it pulls it up. So that's one way that you can go find older pages. Now, and this actually had a video that I believe is no longer here that we tested. So we had a video. This was from a couple who was, they were famous. They had a TV show that roughly 4 million people per week watched. They were on the, they were flipping homes, right? So they were there and they did a little video. So they were well-known celebrities, and then click here to continue led to the page that we were looking at just a short while ago. I was trying to load that thing. Okay, so anyhow, that's how I got there. If you're ever looking for sites that are no longer online, that's the way to get there. All right, so let me jump over now to GrooveFunnels. So when you log in to app.groovefunnels.com, first of all, if you haven't clicked on it yet, click and go take a look at what is in the upgrade. You'll definitely want to take a look at that. If you haven't upgraded yet, to take a look at this limited offer, and that's right there. Click to learn what's in the upgrade. What we're going to dig into today is GrooveSell, and we're going to integrate it with GroovePages. So first, we're going to jump over to GrooveSell. And once you're into GrooveSell, in order to create a product for yourself, you go to Funnels, you click on Funnels, and we're going to create a new product funnel. And being that it is the 13th anniversary of 7-Figure Code, I'm just going to use this as an example. The 7-Figure Code. Copy that. Description, 7-Figure Code, create product funnel. Simple. Now I'm going to create a product name, 7-Figure Code, and 7-Figure Code 13th anniversary digital edition. And this basically is what you would name your product internally. Now, once we build a front-end product, if you want to have upsells and downsells, you would create the first front-end product, and then you'd come in and create a new product and select upsell or downsell. But this is the first front-end product. So hopefully that makes sense. Now I'm going to save and next. All right. And if you see at the top here, it walks us through step by step. In a few iterations ago, we used to have to go step by step. We are able to click and go to different units of the 1 through 11 steps, but I recommend you go through one step at a time, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So we're gonna walk through this. So price point. So basically right now I'm gonna say full price, price point description, one simple payment. Okay, one time, and this is not going to be a trial. It's going to be a one-time payment. It's not going to be recurring. It's not going to be installments, but you have that option. So one-time payment, and just because it was 070707, seven-figure code, I'm going to say it's $77. Okay, I'm going to add another price point, and you get to click and you get to add as many different price points as you want. So installments. All right, so 3 easy installments. So I'm going to hit my command and space bar. I'm going to do 77 divided by 3 is 25. So I'm going to go 3 easy installments of $33. Actually, no. Let me do this again. 77 divided by 3, 25, yeah. 27. I'll go $27. 3 easy installments of $27. Monthly number of installments 3. Okay, there's that. And then we could add another price point if you want, right? And you could have as many price points as you want, but I just want to show you. So you have a one-time option, recurring option. So if you want a monthly recurring or an annual recurring, you could do that. Or if you want to break it down into 2 or 3 payments, you can do the installments. There's going to be recurring installments coming soon. And there's also a trial. So just for giggles, let's just do a recurring. So let's say recurring. And since it's the 7-figure Code Club. Okay, we'll just call it the 7-figure Code Club, just for demonstration purposes. And we're going to do recurring. We will do $7 per month, ongoing, right? $7 per month, ongoing. And let's say this was a higher. I'll keep it simple. So that for this. You guys have the capability to do whatever you want for your product or service. I'm trying to work this all in for the 7-figure code. Some of this wouldn't make sense, but could, right? And so another thing that you could do is if you had on the upsell or downsell, right? So this initial product, we create this whole product, and then you go back and create an upsell or downsell. That could lead to a higher ticket, $47 per month, monthly membership type of situation. And then you could break that into a $1 trial, initial price, $1 for 14 days. Then the price could be $47 recurring every month, right? So there's ways you can play around, and the whole purpose of playing around with the pricing is to get maximum conversion, right? So that website that you saw for the 7-figure code had probably 2 or 3% conversion rate. which means out of every 100 people, there were 2 to 3 out of 100 that purchased. When you're able to come up with pricing scenarios that can engage people, and you can take it from 2 to 3 out of 100 to get it to 5 or 6 out of 100, you've doubled the amount of people that are taking the irresistible offer, therefore making it more enticing for them to try it out with the risk reversal, with some type of initial price test or something like that. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But this is where you can get as creative as possible and think of what's the absolute best scenario for me to get the most engagement of people saying, yes, I want this here. I'm willing to take this irresistible offer. All right. So I gave you a few examples, and we'll leave it at that and continue on. So I'm going to go save and next. Oops, this one here, price description. Test. Price test example. I'll be able to delete that later. Okay, save and next. And as you saw, it's gonna prompt you if something is missing. Okay, now this is where you add your payment gateways. How are you going to accept it? Okay, so then this is where you have some options. If you don't have a merchant account, you can apply for a merchant account. As you know, GrooveSell is in the Groove families, and GroovePay has one of the best merchant account fees, super low fees that, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. So if you haven't got a merchant account yet, you can connect to GroovePay and apply for a merchant account. Then you can also set up your gateways. I already have set up PayPal and Stripe. If you want to add a new gateway, so right now I can add PayPal if I want here. I can add a credit card with my Stripe here if I want. But if you're here and you haven't added your gateways yet, you got your payment gateways at the top. Apply for a merchant account. If you don't have one, you can apply with GroovePay and set up gateways. Now, the cool part about it is you can add multiple Stripe accounts. You can add multiple PayPal accounts. And here's how you do it. You just simply click there, add a Stripe, add a PayPal, add an authorized.net merchant account if you have your merchant account set up. And so I already have one Stripe set up. I could add another Stripe if I want. I already have one PayPal set up. I could add another PayPal if I want. All right, I'm going to pause now. I'm going to jump over to StreamYard to look at your comments. All right, so I already see. So right when I jump in. So give me a 3 if you're following along, or post in some questions of what you have right now, of any questions that you have so far. So, and just so I can step over there, back over there, and show you what's going on. So let's see what it's got here. Okay. GrooveSell can be used for digital products. GrooveCart, besides physical products, can also be used for digital product. Okay, I'm lost on the funnels. Is Tom showing for a paid account? No, John, what I'm showing is how to tie. Okay, I see David already answered it. GrooveSell, how your GroovePages allows you to build a sales page, and GrooveSell allows you to build your payment acceptance. So so when you have the buy button in GroovePages, click here to buy now, or whatever the call to action is on the button. When they click that, it leads to what you've set up in GrooveSell. So the two work hand in hand so that you can have your sales page combined with accepting payment, which is very key. All right, so I see a lot of people are here with it, following, okay. And David, thank you for answering those questions inside the chat. So yes, it can be confusing until you get it. But what we're talking about here is this whole process that we're going through, these 11 steps. At the end of it gives us a URL that we're going to take over to GroovePages, and that's going to be on the buy button. That's going to be the URL that connects to your sales page. So whether it's just a video with a buy button below it, or it's a whole sales page with testimonials and bullet points and copy and video, all of that, on a multi-page sales page, every buy button they click is going to have the URL that you're going to get at the end of this 11-step process that you're going to bring over to GroovePages, plug in, and we're going to show you how to do that today. And so when people click to buy, this allows them to process it and gives you the ability to collect the money, and then also have it inside GrooveSell tracking it. So you're going to know how many clicks you had. You're going to know how many purchases you had. You're going to have an idea of how many refunds you had. All of that's going to be in the GrooveSell dashboard. So you're going to be able to track it all. So GrooveSell and GroovePages work in that manner. So back over. So we're here on step 3, gateways. So then you have to ask yourself, do I want just PayPal? Do I want PayPal and credit card? And that's up to you. So we're going to add PayPal. And now this is, if you have multiple PayPal accounts, this is asking for a percentage of this account. How much do I want it to process? And for those who aren't familiar, if you and I come up with a product and we're like, great, we're launching it next week, and we launch it next week and we bring in $200,000 next week, to go from $0 to $200,000 for PayPal, they're going to hold the money, right? They're going to hold the money. So the reason this is here is because Mike, Phil saying, when building this, knew that if you don't give the people who are able to move a lot of volume the opportunity to send 50% to this account, 50% to another account, or 25% to this account, 25% to another account, 25% to another account, 25% to 4 different accounts, totaling 100%. If it all went to one account, that might flag as too much volume. So this is a way to disperse that volume through multiple PayPal accounts, multiple Stripe accounts, so that it doesn't put up any red flags of, wait a minute, this seems fishy. Let's hold their money for 6 months until we figure out that they didn't do anything wrong, which, by the way, is all legal and in the terms of PayPal and in Stripe and in the merchant accounts. So this is a way to prevent, or at least put some precautionary measures in place if you're anticipating large volume, in a way to spread that volume to numerous accounts, so that you aren't on the withholding end where they're holding your money for 6 months. So if I'm only using one account, I'm just going to put 100. That's just 100% go into that. If I wanted to add credit card, I could add my Stripe credit card, and similarly, I would add 100 for 100%. But I'm gonna not add that. I'm just going to keep it PayPal for now. All right, and then soon there's going to be GrooveSell payments, which, similar to ClickBank, I'm sure many of you have been to ClickBank and realize that you buy and the money goes to ClickBank. So there's going to be the ability for you to use GrooveSell payments where you don't even need to have a PayPal or credit card. GrooveSell is going to collect it. They're going to keep a small percentage, similar to ClickBank. And that way you don't have to worry about, because GrooveSell is handling the massive amount of volume. So you're going to get paid and not have to worry about any of that stuff. And then there's PayPal risk mitigation, which is coming soon as well. So all I did here on the payment gateways is, right now I just put my PayPal and I want 100% of it to go to that one PayPal account. I'm going to do save and next. Okay, so now this is the sales page URL. And then this is where you'd go to GroovePages and you grab the page that you created for your sales page. That's the sales page URL. Then you'd want your thank you page, which there's going to be a thank you page. You have the ability to put a thank you page for each of your payment options. And then you also have the ability here to do a refund period along with a buffer period. For this example, I'm just going to do an example, tombeal.com, thank you page. I'm gonna use this page. The simplifier. Success intake form. Just let me make sure that's the right URL. Yep. Okay, perfect. So so basically, if you want to use the same thank you page, you can. You just paste it in there for each of the payment options, Now, if you want to have a different welcome video, you could have a different thank you page. So the thank you page is after people purchase. If you have different payment options, and each of them may have had a different fast action bonus. You know, if you purchase the full pay, the one easy payment, you gain access to this additional bonus. So that video could be, hey, congratulations, you took the one easy payment. In doing so, you have the additional bonus that we talked about, and all the details are below for how you can access that. So you could have individualized thank you pages for the different payment options that they chose, and that's all up to you. Now, for the refund period, you get to also choose that. And just to give you a heads up, I mean, merchant accounts, PayPal, Stripe, etc., like 30-day refund periods. They aren't too happy, or they don't necessarily love 365-day refund periods or 90-day refund periods. They're more preferable if you're doing higher volumes. They like it better if it's the 30-day, the standard 30-day. You go to 60 or 90 days, they get a little iffy. And for most people that are doing not so much volume, it's not that big of a deal. Once you get up into large volume, they don't like having a lot of that money sitting out there for 3 months, 6 months, etc. They like, hey, look, it's a 30-day, take it or leave it type of situation. Something to consider. Use your discernment when you pick what your refund period is, but then you could also have a buffer period. So you could work in a 3-day or a 5-day buffer period, and that's simply for you and your internal purposes, to where if you have admin going in there and automatically giving people's money back, sometimes if you don't have a buffer period in there, let's just say an affiliate referred this purchaser of, let's say, a $500 product, and you paid an affiliate 50%. So the purchase was for $500, and you waited for 30 days. There wasn't a refund, and on the 30th day, the person refunded, but your assistant paid the affiliate on the 30th day, for instance, the $250. So there was a $500 in, you paid $250 out to your affiliate, and then the person refunds on the 30th day, and it just overlaps. So now you're out the $500 because that money went back to the purchaser, and you're out the $250 to the affiliate. And a lot of people are like, well, Tom, just go get the $250 back from the affiliate, which in many cases absolutely is what's called a clawback, which affiliates are used to, but it's not always the most awesome scenario. So if you work in a buffer period, that's simply helping you internally to wait, okay, the 30-day refund period occurred, but there's a buffer in there, which is going to go another 3 days. So it doesn't allow the system to have circumstances like that occur. So something to keep in mind. 3 days is probably a good idea to keep a buffer period in there. If you're doing small volume, probably not an issue, not a problem. As you get into larger volume, that can add up to a lot of money that, once again, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. All right, I'm going to keep trucking along. I will jump over to the comments. The good news is David is there answering questions as I proceed. So any questions you have, post your questions. David will probably handle them before I get there. But when I get back over there, he's going to have some questions for me inside the direct chats directly to me. So ask your questions as I'm going through this. All right, so you want to have your sales page URL. Your thank you page URLs can be different for each of the purchase options. And then your refund period. You know, some people only have a 7-day refund period, right? Or a 14-day refund period, or, you know, a 30. It's up to you to determine what makes the most sense for your irresistible offer. And then the buffer period, I mean, you could leave it at 0, but there probably wouldn't be any harm, but it could be a saving grace to have a 3-day buffer period. Up to you to discern. We click Save and Next. And now we go to the checkout, right? So as you see here, GrooveSell hosted checkout, which is going to give us a URL at the end. When we're all done with this, it's going to give us a URL that we're going to bring over to GroovePages and plug into the buy button. And when people click on the buy button, it's going to go into all that we're creating here inside GrooveSell. Pretty soon, it's going to have a pop-up on your site. Your checkout page will open as a pop-up on your site, and you can copy our embed code to your sales page. It's going to have the embedded into your own page. Your checkout page will be embedded into your site as a borderless iframe, or your own custom design coming soon, where your checkout page will be hosted by you with your own custom design and pages. All right. So right now we're going to go with the GrooveSell hosted checkout, and we have the options up here. Look and feel. You could upload a product image, and it's going to have the image there. I don't know what images I have on this computer. I have several computers I use, so skip that. But if you have a product image, you could upload that, and then you get to pick pink, blue, gray. We'll just keep it at pink. Form fields. It automatically has first name, last name, email, country, and state. And then you get to optionally pick if you want address, city and postal, phone, and company. And you could add custom fields. And now, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's a real pain if you are using other systems and you want some custom fields. It's a real pain in the neck on many systems. With this one's real simple. Just add a custom field. Name the field, and it's going to be able to be added. So dependent upon what your product or service is, if you have other fields that you want, you can add it real simply by clicking that. And as you just saw, you can unclick the ones you don't want. The ones up here are automatically clicked and unable to be unclicked. Express checkout. This has the two options, right? So no, use the full checkout experience. Do not use one-click upsells and let customers pay with a full checkout experience. If you aren't having any upsells or downsells, you only need this one, right? If you have some upsells and downsells, you have the option to activate straight pay-through payments, which allows you to use the one-click upsells and place the orders once the Buy Now button is clicked. One-click upsell. So once people have gone through your initial product and entered their details, and it brings them to the thank you page, which we'd have to go back to the thank you page and change the thank you page, which would now be your upsell offer. Now the upsell offer would have exactly what it needs to reassure them that, hey, your order is not complete yet. We have something very special for you, right? And how they can customize their order, and the video, the copy that tells them about what the next upsell is. If you choose, yes, activate the straight through payments option, all they have to do is click that button, yes, I want this. Or below that, no thanks, I'll pass for now, or whatever the copy is. If they click, yes, I want this, it'll automatically do the one-click upsell. They won't have to re-enter their information. If you don't have upsells or downsells, like I said, the simple option is there. And then coming soon is activate the one-click confirmation. So if you use the one-click upsells, it's going to ask for the confirmation before placing the order. Are you sure your card is going to be processed for $497 for this particular product? And that's, once again, to when you're doing large volume, when your merchant account is reviewing your process, some of them are going to feel real comfortable with that one-click confirmation, and that's coming soon. So it's just one more way to make sure you're not going to have chargebacks or issues with your merchant account. All right, so that's that. We're just leaving it there. Cart abandonment. You can add new integrations. So with Aweber and ActiveCampaign are the ones that I have set up. So if you have whatever autoresponder system you have, if someone makes it to the checkout page and leaves, you can have an integration, and you've probably seen this in play. So maybe you've been at a process of ordering something, and then for whatever reason didn't complete it, whether the power went out or dinner happened and you went away and you weren't able to finish the thing, or you're like, you know what, maybe second guessing it as you're there. When they exit any of the different price points, so they make it there, you can have an integration set up with your autoresponder that puts them in a drip email sequence. Hey, Tom, we noticed you didn't complete the order. Hey, don't worry. The bonuses are still there for you. Simply click the button below to finish your order. Email 1. Hey, Tom, just making sure you saw. We sent you the email yesterday. You missed the order. Whatever that process is, you can now put them in a campaign that's integrated with the autoresponders that you have set up in GroovePages and GrooveSell. And that's obviously an advanced step, but another way to maximize the conversions, which is absolutely brilliant. All right, so right now there's nothing to integrate. I'm going to choose not to do that right now. Then we have custom CSS and tracking. So this is the tracking scripts, which would help your tech team make sure you're able to get all the proper retargeting that's done, circling back to the cart abandonment. So with the tracking scripts and codes, if people made it to the checkout page but didn't make it to the thank you page, they're in a certain follow-up process where they can be followed around with ads that also remind them, hey, Tom, we noticed, or probably not by name, but we noticed you didn't complete your order. Simply click here to complete that process. So this is where all the tracking scripts would go. Legal. This is where you add your terms, and then no vendor specific terms or conditions. And then this is agree. So that's pretty much, yes, I agree to the terms, right? And that's something that, once again, back to making sure the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. Not necessary for everybody, but doing high volumes to minimize fraud and to minimize chargebacks, things along those lines. This is another step to help the merchant accounts feel at ease. So no is the default. You'd want to check and see if you need to go that route, if you agree to vendor terms. If you do, you just enter your text there and have it linked to your terms and services. Basically, they check it, agree to it, and then continue on with the order. And then language, right now it's English, but there will be dynamic checkout language coming soon. Compliance, mandatory billing agreement. So there's going to be countries that have all the different laws. That's coming soon, where you can get them to agree to all that. Then exit pop-up. So if they leave, there'll be a wait before you go type of exit pop to try to maximize the conversions as well. And then also testimonials that will be on the order page coming soon also. So we're done with that part. We're going to save and next. Now we move to bumps. So coming soon is some bump offers. Now, bump offers are tremendously effective. And so that's pretty much, as you're ordering the product, there's a Johnson box, many cases, and a check box. By checking here, you agree to get the audio version of this, right? So if it's a book or something along those lines, you've probably seen that, where you order the book, simply check here to receive the audio version for only $14.95, whatever the bump is. Bump offers work tremendously well. For the 7-figure code, we actually had a bump offer that was $19 a month. And we had over 45% of the people check the bump offer. And that produced multiple tens of thousands of dollars per month at $19 per month. And I believe it might have been a 14-day free trial, and then it went into $19 per month. So bump offers, and like roughly half, just shy of half the people who purchased jumped into the irresistible offer, clicked that to join the 7-figure zone. That worked out tremendously well. So this coming soon, you'll want to look at that closely when it's activated, and highly consider having a bump offer. It maximizes your revenues at the point of sale. And then the post-transaction URL. So once it's all said and done, where do you want them to go? So after the upsells and downsells, if you have them, where do you want them to go? And then you can enable advanced tracking codes for your tech people to track all this and use all the retargeting and things like that. That's all there as well. So you can change it from the thank you page you put earlier, or add an upsell page. It's up to you to determine that at this stage, if you have the funnel for the upsells and the downsells. And now at the fulfillment. So right now, for each of the different price points, you have the option, which, as you see, coming soon, a downloadable file or integrated membership. So if you want to have the fulfillment be that downloadable file or integrated membership coming soon, you click on those. Right now, there's this option right here, which pretty much you're going to take care of with the fulfillment. Once they purchase it, the thank you page will take care of it and show them what to do next. Integrations. This is the part also where the fulfillment comes in. So once they purchase, this now integrates with your buyers. So now you add in the integration for whatever autoresponder service you have. Tom, congratulations for your purchase of the 7-figure code. In this email are the details. Save this email. Here is how to access your purchase, right? And then you have your first welcome email. Congratulations for making the choice. And then you could have follow-up emails to reinforce their choice to purchase your product or service. So this is where you add the integrations to your email provider. And that's where you want to put all the integrations for each of the purchase options. And then webhook, that's where you would have your tech people hook any purchases to. If it were a members area type of situation, they would have, it would be tracked. Your web people, your tech people will know how to make that happen with the webhook. And then we're going to go to affiliates. So if you don't have affiliate program, real simple, no affiliate program. If you want an affiliate program, simply activate the affiliate program. So based upon the different price points that you laid out there, you have affiliate tier 1 and affiliate tier 2, which is a JV broker. So affiliate tier 1, so for this product, 7-figure code in this example, $77. For tier 1, so if you saw that I have an affiliate program for this, and I'm giving you 50% is possible, but let's just say I want to make it 75%. But $77 times 0.75, you're going to make $57.75 for every sale. Right? So that's up to you to determine. Now this angle would be, I want affiliates to get behind this and promote it. Like they're going to make some serious money. It's a highly valuable product, only $77. They're going to make roughly $58 for every sale. Now, if I want to break it down to 50%, you could just change it there, whatever it is. Then JV broker is a tier 2. That means it's a second tier. So you as an affiliate, depending on what I chose there, 50, 75, whatever it is, you'd earn that if you recommend people to go buy it. If you are someone who's connected with a lot of people who have lists, you could say, hey, I have this offered. I think you might be interested in. Go check out the JV page here. And you would send them to your JV broker link, which would then send them to my affiliate page. Hey, my name is Tom Beal. 13 years ago, Mike Philsame and I released the 7-figure code. It taught people how to earn their first $1 million online. It was a $5,000 live event. We went on to turn that live event into a home study course that sold over $1 million worth of sales in 1 week. We shipped it all over the world for $497 a piece. You can now access it for $77. As an affiliate, your people will be able to access it for $77. As an affiliate, you're going to earn whatever percentage I say here, 50%, 75%. You're going to earn X amount of dollars. So simply register below to become an affiliate, and we look forward to sending you a lot of money. You as a second tier, if I were to say 10%, everybody that you sent to your second tier affiliate link who went to my affiliate page and signed up as an affiliate from your recommendation, every product they sold, you earn 10%. So if the person you sent Sally, and Sally sent 10 sales, Sally earned her 50%, you earn 10% of those 10 sales. So $770, you earn $77 from Sally's sales, second tier. If that confused you, don't worry about it. Just stick with the tier 1. If you are someone who's influential and has people who are affiliates, second tier can be very profitable for you. But that's up to you. And then you create this for each of the different price points that you have. And then you could have commissions override. That's a whole different thing as well. That's if you want to give, so the normal percentage was 50%. You want to give 75% to someone and or 20% as a second tier available too. And now you name your affiliates. Now this is an override that you name specifically. So this isn't available to everybody, but you want to give a special override to high-level affiliates. This is where you're able to do this. This is priceless. This is really hard to do, real pain in the neck with other systems. Super simple and easy here. that's one example. All right, so I'm going to delete the affiliate override because I don't have any affiliates to add. Okay, see if that lets me. Save and next. Proof coming soon. And finish. Here we are. So what's next? So this is the tracking. So this is where you would have tracking. You would take this URL and put it on in the body of the product sales page. So this is for all the tracking. So this is going to go over into GroovePages. This isn't the URL that we're going to get to in a little bit. That's actually the buy button. This, as it says here, is tracking. Paste this code in the body section of this product sales page. So I'm going to copy this. Now this is where we go to save and exit. Okay, so now I'm going to actually put that in a little folder here. All right, not that one. Okay, so this I'm going to paste here. That's the GrooveSell tracking. Okay, so that's the tracking in the body. I'm going to put that in the body, and then here I'm going to get the. Oh, I know what I have to do now. Now I have to make it live. Some figure code. Whoops. I remember being here. So now how do I make it live? David, I might need to have you remind me how to make it live.
So it is pretty simple. You would need to go out to your product funnels. So just click the funnels on the right-hand side there. And you choose the product, the 7-figure code, next to the action. Click on it, the action button on the right.
Yep.
And then make live.
Yep, there it is. So if you see here, it's in draft mode. So that's where, like, this is the step I forgot. I go back to funnels. It's right there in draft mode. I make live. Okay.
So this is where you choose the subdomain. The checkout page will be published on this subdomain. So this is where you choose. So just type in 7-figure code. Okay, so it will be 7figurecode.groovesell.com.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so now it is published. Now you can go and manage your product and then actually click on that checkout cart button. So manage product. And checkout cart button is live now.
Yep, there it is. Perfect, thank you. And then so I'm going to pick the one step. And then here is the link. And that's for the, and if you see up here, all the different price points are up here. So that's the different links for the different price points. So I'm going to pick the one here, and I'm going to save that over here. So when I get over to GroovePages, we'll have those links. All right, perfect. So now that's how we did it. So when I was done, it gave me that one code, which I had to copy because that's going to go in the body of for the tracking. And then as David showed me, go to funnels. It was draft. You got to go make live, and that's now changed back to draft mode. And then once it's there, then you go to manage products. And then you click on it, the button, and the one step, there's a link. So there's that. Now we're going to jump back over to GroovePages. Now, this was, it actually, I had forgotten today was the 13th anniversary of the 7-figure code until I looked at the date, like, holy cow, it's July 7th. So I don't have a page for that. So now I'm going to actually create a page. So generally, before going over to GrooveSell, you'd want to have your sales page done. right? So we're kind of doing things a little backwards for demonstration purposes here today. But to keep things simple, I will just give you an example. So you get to pick from all the different pages that are here, and it's up to you to pick, like this one here, preview. We'll preview this one. This one would give you all that you see here, the template that then you can complete as your product or service. And then for each of the buttons that were order now, it could lead to your GrooveSell page. So let's choose that one. Select that. And once you're here, site settings, name this 7-figure code example. Body. So remember, at the end of a GrooveSell, it said paste this in the body, right? This is where you put your tracking. So I'm going to go over to that note that I made. This is that code. I copy that, paste it in the body. I'm going to go with that. So that's done. Then you would modify the site as you would anniversary edition. And I'm going to get rid of this, confirm. And as you do things, remember, I'm going a little bit fast here because I know there's some people that are been with us for numerous weeks. There's some people, this may be your first week. What I'm showing you here is how simple and easy it is to modify the pages once you get here. Now I deleted some stuff. I added some stuff. Up at the top, you have the back button and the forward button. So if I go back, the most recent thing I did was deleted that image. If I go back, that image is back. If I go back again, the headline disappears. Oh, I want the headline back. I want that image, or that image gone. So you can use the back button and the forward button as your backup, right? If you want to test things, test away, and then don't ever forget that you have your back and forward. So that's always there. As far as editing videos, it's real easy. You just click on the video here. You go to configure, and there's a code at the end of YouTube that you would just pick that code and then enter in whatever it is. And let's use an example. So I go to my YouTube, youtube.com/Tom Beal. Pause it because it automatically starts. I'll go to videos. Obviously, I would pick a video that is the 7-figure code. Let me see. I might even have something here, the 7-figure code. Nothing that is a sales page. Oh, there it is. 10-year anniversary. A whole bunch of 7-figure. Okay, so I'll use the 10-year anniversary one. So that's that. Now I'm at this video. All I need is this after V equals. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to update. Don't you love how videos always pick the best version of you as the still? So obviously this would be a video that goes into, here's what I've got. Here's what it will do for you. Here's what to do next. In a sales video format, this would be something along the lines of, look, on July 7th, 2007, Mike Filsame and I released the 7-figure code. Many people have referenced this particular course, this particular home study course, as the information and the knowledge that took them from wanting to earn money and income online to actually doing it. And so this was the top seller of all those years ago, but it's been updated, and we, so you give whatever it is to sell people and you get them the call to action. So then we go here and we're going to configure the button. Yes, I want whatever your call to action is. Yes, I want the 7-figure code. And you link URL. And now I'm going to go to that note that I created. here is the URL that we created inside GrooveSell. I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to open it in a new tab. Click Update. There we go. So now I'm going to save this. And I'm going to publish this. And I'm going to call it 7-figure code. Publish. Now is published. So I'm going to tombeal.com/groovepages.com/the 7-figure code, not the /7-figure code, not the. So when I go there, here's what we're going to see instantly. What did I do? What did I do there? Maybe I didn't save it. Let me see here. 7-figure code. I'm going to put 2. Maybe I already had a page that I created called 7-figure code. Oh, I know what I did. I didn't click it. I got to click this button. Hello. This button up here, you get to choose either publish it on your domain or host your site with us. I didn't click host your site with us. So I'm going to take the 2 off. Just go 7-figure code, publish. See, you test things out, and when something doesn't work the way expected, go back and deconstruct it. I'm going to copy that link address. I'm going to go here, paste it, and voila, there it is. So obviously, I would have a different video that is selling them on the 7-figure code. Now, when they click this button, look what happens. There it is, 7-figure code, $77, one-time payment. 7-figure code, 13th anniversary. You saw we did all this over in GrooveSell. And if you have an affiliate program, you'll be able to test. When you send affiliate traffic, you'll be able to see your name as the referrer there. But anyhow, complete this. And what's going to happen is anyone who completes that is going to process, as we set it up inside my PayPal account that I had set this all up with, is going to go to my PayPal. And what we didn't do is set it up to fulfill it. And what we didn't do is set it up to go into the integration of our email autoresponder. But you would do that, right? So when people buy this, it will bring them to the thank you page, which welcomes them, which sets the expectation of what they can expect. You know, if you check your email in a minute or so, you'll see the welcome email, which has all the details for you to access the course that you just purchased. Congratulations. Inside that email is going to be all that you need, right? So you set the frame with that thank you page. But here we have, in minutes, you've just witnessed how simple it is to set up the whole process and then go back and integrate it with GroovePages and GrooveSell so that you can have your sales page and the ability for people to purchase it right there. Simple, easy, all within the GrooveFunnels system using GroovePages and GrooveSell. So there is the simplicity aspect of it. I'm going to jump back over to StreamYard, take a look at the questions. Give me, since it's the 7-figure code, give me a 7 if you followed along with what I had to share with you today so far. Give me a 7 in the chat, and I'm going to take a look in the chat. Also, pose any questions that you haven't got answered yet by David inside the chat, because I'll be taking a look at those as well. All right, so 7. All right, we got that. 7. Christine, all right, lots of 7s. Jody, 7. Grace, 7. Dean, 7. Miri, 7 and still learning. Eric, 7. Perry, 7. Well, and Miri, we're all still learning. That's the other great part about this. It's a never-ending journey. Everything is continually changing in this world as we're witnessing, right? We're all in this unique time. And it's all up to each and every one of us to be that consummate student. All right, so Eldon there, Facebook user, Perry, John, Facebook user, Charles, James, Facebook user. All right, Michael, Carmen, if you heard Facebook user, I only see Facebook user inside StreamYard. You need to go to streamyard.com/Facebook. for next time. You do it once, and then it lets me see your name. So from now on, I see a couple more Facebook users. Miri with a a smiley face and hearts. Good deal. So yes, we're as the consummate students, we're always seeking how to get from where we are to where we want to go. What you learn today is integral for you earning income online and scaling that to where hopefully one day you have the $1 million launch, if that's your dream. But it begins with earning your first sale. And then once you earn your first sale, you're like, you know what? Holy cow, it worked. I got my first sale. If you can get one sale, you can get 10. If you can get 10 sales, you can get 25. If you can get 25 sales, you can get 100. If you get 100 sales, you can get 250 sales. If you get 250 sales, you can get 500, and so on and so forth. But it begins with one. So your goal, and the reason why I keep it simple and keep it light and we have fun here is because I don't want you getting stuck in the details, stuck in procrastination, stuck in perfection. My goal and my hope is that you take this and you implement it. And guess what? Perfect action never does as well as imperfect action. Imperfect action always beats perfect inaction. So it's not going to be the greatest the first time. Never is. That's okay. But you get it out there and you realize it's not that hard. I integrated my email autoresponder with GroovePages. I integrated GrooveSell with my Stripe account, GrooveSell with my PayPal account. I created the whole flow that we just witnessed and went through today with GrooveSell, and I created my product. People can actually buy it now. I have my sales page. I have my thank you page. I've integrated it with my email autoresponder. And now I've taken that URL. I've made it live. Don't forget the part at the end, which thankfully I have David here, and thankfully you guys have the replays to go watch. Because if you go through that whole process and the button doesn't allow you to get that link, it's not live yet. So you have to turn it from demo mode to live. Once it's live, you now can get that URL to make it go back, take that URL and put it on your buy buttons. So people can now see your sales page, click, say, yes, I want that. Go input their credit card information and it will pay to your PayPal, pay to your Stripe, pay to your merchant account. Then they'll also be able to access the product. And what we didn't get into today, but is available for you, is once they make that initial sale, then you can build in the upsells and the downsells. So if they took that first offer, what's the next offer that you can make for them? Then you create that flow, and then you integrate that into the thank you page, which you saw where it could go to either the thank you page or the next step in the funnel. So all of this, and it trips me out to look at this page with all the me's going in there. But all this is to prove to you that it's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be super complicated. It can be simple, and simple that's done is better than complicated that's undone. So this is all to help serve you in the manner of like, look, I got to get things going. I want to get an opt-in page. I want to get a sales page. If you don't have either of those, you have to discern, here's where I am, here's where I'm looking to go. What's the next step for me to share value with my personality, my experience, my perspective, in a manner that will provide value to where people will say, yes, here's my name and email. I want what you're telling me I can get for my name and email. And then I like what you're telling me here. That's exactly what I've been looking for. Here's my credit card. I'd love that product or service. And one step at a time, you can make this all happen. All right. So I see David is in here answering lots of questions. All right. So, and there's lots of good interaction here. Good. So everybody is interacting. Everybody's following along. And David is answering questions as I've been yapping away here at you in today's training. All right. Okay, good. So that brings me to the private chat. Let me jump over here. Okay, so now part of what we have each week is a challenge. So here you and I are. We met today, July 7th, 2020. And regardless of where you are, whether you have some opt-in pages up that you created in GroovePages or you don't, whether you have some sales pages up that you created in GroovePages or you don't, the challenge is this. By the time we cross paths against next week, I challenge you to get one created. And when you get one created, there's a point in the beginning that we talk about, like, look, if you created one from last week, post it inside the chat, and we're going to go take a look at it and give you our feedback, give you our insights on how you can take what you got and possibly make it better, or you got something that's working good and continue on that path. So Peter posted one in earlier. So if you have one that you want to post, that you created inside GroovePages, that you want us to take a look at, post it in the chat. David will notify me inside the private chat, and I will copy it, paste it, and we'll go take a look at it. So Peter posted this one in here. Let's go take a look. All right. So mindexercises.net. E-way, evolve, release your brakes, stop holding yourself back, discover how you can unlock your hidden potential, take control of your power, live a life you will love. Download the free ebook below, Secrets of the Subconscious Mind, the easy way to great success, and create the life you desire. Start now. I like it. Like at the top, above the fold, right? You always want to have something that gets people's attention above the fold without me having to scroll. Now I'm looking at a big screen. What I will do, just to make sure, is I'm going to go to it on my phone. And that's something that you will want to do with all of your pages as well. To take a look at your page on your phone, because guess what? Most of the people, a high percentage of them, are looking at your site on the phone. So on my large screen here, it looks fantastic above the fold. I'm going to go into my phone here and see how it looks on the phone. Mind exercises.net. Okay, so here's what it looks like on my phone. And I will say this, it gets my attention. The whole purpose of headlines is to get the person's attention. We live in an attention deficit age. We as humans have a lower attention span, or the same attention span as a goldfish. So to get and keep someone's attention, to even read a headline, sounds simple, but never underestimate what it takes to get their attention. So right away, release your brakes. I like that. Okay, yeah. Download the free ebook. Start, a good picture of the book. Get your free ebook. I like it. It's looking good on the phone. I like that. And it looks good on my large screen here. Get your free ebook. Click that to see how it is. Okay, that looks good. All right, so here's some feedback on this. Right now, what I would suggest is right now, these up here kind of distract me from the main purpose of getting the free ebook, if that makes sense, right? So follow along with me. One of the things to keep in mind is generally you want to have one purpose. One purpose. The whole purpose of what I saw on the page one was to get my free ebook, right? And I love it. There's not anything else. Get the free ebook. There's the disclaimer and privacy policy, sure, but one thing. When I click to get the ebook, now I'm distracted. And here's the analogy. And by the way, this is constructive. This looks great. This is not a knock. This is all to help you and others remember this analogy. Have you ever been in a kitchen where someone's cooking with a pressure cooker? You got the lid and it's strapped on and the pressure building up in there and steam's coming out. I felt the pressure cooker in a good way, right? And it's not in a bad way. It's not in a headlock and giving someone an Indian burn or something. In a good way, I felt like I had one call to action. And we talked about how attention spans, like the length of a goldfish. So the first page, perfect. I get here, ooh, squirrel. Other things for me to check out instead of completing the main purpose, which is to get my name and email and help me get that book. So what's that? What's that movie Up with the dog? Squirrel, squirrel. What I saw here is squirrels. Before I get the book, let me click here. Oh, okay, John. Yeah, let me read about John. Oh, meet John. Whoops, where'd it go? I think it was meet John. Okay, let me meet John. Okay, now I'm in a video. See what I'm saying? So these are squirrel distractions holding me back from taking the action, which is the main purpose. The main purpose is to get my name and email, then introduce me to John, if that makes sense. So let me go back. And by the way, like totally, I love what you got going here. I'm just giving my feedback that I hope is helpful to you. It won't let me go back. See, so now I couldn't even go back to get the book for whatever reason. So I got to go back here. And now, like, these things are distractions. The only thing I want. So I would remove all that stuff and just keep, download your free ebook, right? Just keep my focus. And then maybe, tease me with what's coming next. But I like it. You got the 3 bullet points here. So I'm just gonna do this here. And then the other thing is asking for my last name. Every extra thing that we ask for is another barrier, hoop for people to jump through. So a lot of people are just asking for email addresses, not even first name. When you ask for last name, some people are like, you don't want to give people an out of that pressure cooker. So back to the pressure cooker. So the out, first of all, was the squirrel distractions of meet John, using mind, power, inspiration, buy now. And the second one was, last name. What do I need my last name for? Sounds odd, but just something to consider. And then you also have to consider, are you ever going to use the last name? Does that ever come into play? And a lot of times, some people don't use the first name ever, right? And that's where you have to discern. Are you going to get more opt-ins with just the email only? And it's up to you to discern, something to consider. So I'm going to get it now. See what the thank you page is. Okay. Secrets of the Subconscious Mind. Your book's on the way. Check your email. Perfect. I like that. And then now you could lead them to, you could, click here to learn more about John, while you're looking, something like that. But I think it would be okay for this now. Okay, great. Ebook's on the way. Now let me go meet John. Let me click and see what John's all about. Okay, cool. Using mind power. Okay. Take a look at that. Inspiration. Cool. So that's my feedback. I like it. I like it a lot. And that's for you to take and discern. And here's the other thing. There's no right way or like, this is great. It's great. But we always want to be seeking, how can we improve? Like, what am I doing? Like, there's a great question. What's wrong? What sucks about this? What's great about it? What sucks about it? And you have to be willing to accept, and you want the feedback of like, what sucks about it? How can I make it better? And even if it's amazing, okay, great. Thank you for the kudos. It's amazing, great. What sucks about it? What just rubs you the wrong way? What's something that you feel just something was off? And you want that feedback, because that feedback is what takes it from good to great and great to awesome and awesome to amazing. And there's always some next steps. That said, the next steps always are tested. Did it make a difference of going from just email? Like, I took away first and last name of 100 people with first and last name, we got 30. I took away first and last name. Now we got 50 out of 100. That's a pretty significant improvement. Like, the data tells you what works and what doesn't. Everything else is a hypothesis. So always test, always be looking at the data. Here's how many visitors we got. And of the visitors, here's how many opt-ins we got. Here's how many visitors we got. Of the visitors, here's how many sales we got. The numbers speak for itself. The rest is hypothesis. You always want to be testing and tweaking those hypotheses. All right, let me jump over here. So Peter, hopefully that was helpful. Let me jump in and see If Peter was still here, okay. Peter, thank you. Awesome feedback. I'm going to fix. Thanks so much, Peter. Great. And by the way, that was awesome. I love it. But it's always that first response. And I think it makes sense. Like, we all are looking for that escape out of the pressure cooker. And so I'll give another example of a launch that I did a few years ago, and it did about $500,000 in a week. And the big mistake that we made on it was we let the pressure cooker out. And it's great that, Peter, you shared a book. So I was working with New York Times bestsellers, and they have an amazing book. And we had a course that's an amazing course, but the pressure was all built up for this $2,000 course. And we let a good amount of the people get out of the pressure to buy the $2,000 course to just go buy the book and say, you know what, I'll get the book for $20 first. And then if I need something deeper, I'll think about the $2,000 course, right? So in retrospect, it made sense that we let the pressure out of the pressure cooker, and probably should have never mentioned the book, even though it was a New York Times bestselling book, and not had the product name similar to the book, because that let all the pressure out of A, $2,000 product, or B, $20 book. Man, I like the product, but I'll just go get the book. And then if I need something deeper, then I'll get the $2,000 product. That makes sense? So you always got to be thinking about stuff like that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. Let me check in the private chat, make sure. So, Peter, well done. And here's the great part about that feedback. And here's the great part about that challenge. Next week, you saw it. This is some powerful stuff. That's some trajectory modifying feedback. Someone who's done multiple millions of dollars in online sales, that's going to share what's top of mind feedback that hopefully can help improve your results. And it's not just helpful for the person. Oops. It's not just helpful for the person that I'm sharing the feedback for. It's helpful for others as well. So if you haven't yet created your opt-in page or sales page, the challenge is create it between now and next Tuesday. And then when we ask in the beginning, as we do each and every Tuesday, if you created your page, whether it's an opt-in page or a sales page, post it in the chat. We'll take a look at it, and we will give some insights on how you can possibly improve that and or test to see if the improvements make a difference, because everything is a hypothesis. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So I thank you for your time. My purpose and my hope is that in sharing the 13-year anniversary of the 7-figure code, if you were to see me 15 years ago, I never in a million years would have thought that I would be a part of a product that would create $1 million in sales in a week. Just wasn't on the table. But similar to what we talked about, if you can make one sale, you can make 10. If you can make 10, you can make 50. If you make 50, you make 100, et cetera, et cetera. One step at a time, it opens up your belief. And so my hope for today was to show you that it's possible for you. You're here with this amazing company using these amazing tools. They brought some people to you that can hopefully help unlock anything holding you back here, unlock you from perfectionism, unlock you from procrastination, and just take action. One step, one day at a time, you are able to put together an opt-in page that creates leads for you, that you're able to build relationships with, then able to create products and services they can purchase. One step at a time, one opt-in at a time, one sale at a time. You can get from where you are to where you want to be. It's an honor that our paths cross each and every week. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, and looking forward to seeing hopefully your opt-in page, your sales page, that we can take a closer look at in between the training. We'll jump in and talk about it. So let me ask David. David, anything else that I know you've been handling questions in there as I've been talking? Anything else that we haven't covered yet? Or everyone?
I managed to cover everything so far. I think we are good. There were a couple of people very active on YouTube. I love that they're active on YouTube as well. But in case there are some left unanswered questions, I will just go there and answer it for them.
Okay, awesome. David, thank you once again. As always, you're a master behind the scenes and help me out in the places I stumble as well. So thank you for your expertise.
No worries at all.
And thank you all. Go make us proud. Show us what you got. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks a lot.
See you guys. Bye-bye.